Welcome everybody to a brand new Dragon Ball What If. This time I have part 2 of What If Saiyans were in Star Wars. This is a sequel to a pretty old What If I did, but it was very popular. However, I never really got a chance to continue it. This is me doing just that. If you haven't watched the first part, I just re-recorded it with updated audio, as I've gotten a lot better since the first video released. So that will be the link in the description below, and in the eye icon over here. If you like this sort of content and want to see more, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss another video. Let's begin with the story. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. It is a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base have won their first victory against the evil Galactic Empire. During the battle, Rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star, an armored space station with enough power to destroy an entire planet. Pursued by the Empire's sinister agents, Princess Leia races home aboard her starship, custodian of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy. But this story is not about those plans. Instead, we go a few years back to the planet Dagobah. There, an old Jedi Master named Yoda meditates in his hut. He has failed. He has casted himself away, waiting for the moment where the Jedi will bring balance to the Force once more. Following the fall of Anakin Skywalker to the dark side, the Jedi have been nearly wiped from existence. Though his connection to the Force has been damaged, it has not been severed completely, and he feels a strange presence arriving to his planet. The Jedi walks out of his hut to find that a pod is making its way directly towards him. Whatever was in there, the Force had guided it to him. Yoda lifted his hand up, focusing and catching the pod in midair, gently setting it down with the Force. He could already hear the cries from within the pod. As he slowly approached it, it opened up to reveal a young child with a tail. Yoda's eyes widened. A Saiyan child. Just a mere day prior, Yoda had felt thousands of lives scream in agony as they disappeared, falling to the might of the Empire. Planet Vegeta was eviscerated. This child must be one of the only survivors. Yoda looked at his palm, realizing that him and the child had that in common, lone survivors of an old civilization. He knew that Saiyans had a strong connection to the Force, but this child in particular seemed to be filled with potential. He wasn't sure what to do. He promised himself to just take in isolation, but he couldn't leave this child to the will of the swamp. The Force had sent him this child. He was his responsibility now. Believing that this boy could be his chance to atone for his mistakes made during the Clone Wars, Yoda chooses to raise this boy. With an unknown name, Yoda chooses to name him Son Goku, or whatever the Star Wars equivalent would be. He's strong in the Force, and over the next few years, up until he's 12 years old, he trains hard, his Saiyan spirit always driving him to be the best. And though his connection to the Force is strong, he still has a lot to learn. A lot that Yoda simply cannot teach him while in the swamp. Goku had no knowledge of how to use a lightsaber. Yoda didn't have any training once, and there was no way to create one while on Dagobah. Goku knew what they were, however, and was excited about using one day. Goku would often ask about his family, though Yoda did not know anything about them. He did recall a brave Saiyan soldier who led the clone troopers long ago, but a lot of Saiyans looked the same when they came to lower classes. He could or could not be related to Goku. The Saiyans simply took it at face value. Eventually, he reached his final trial. Though Goku had attempted to enter the cave many times, he always became afraid once he entered, and Yoda told him he wasn't ready, but this time, he was. Yoda could feel the fear within Goku, the dark side. This was normal for Saiyans. This was one of the final tests. Goku enters the cave, and within it, he sees another Saiyan, someone who mirrors himself. But that Goku had a tail. The real Goku had had his tail cut long ago. Yoda couldn't afford its destructive power, giving away their location, nor destroying their home. Goku understood, but once in the cave, he could feel the power that Goku had. The Saiyan, dressed in all black, roared as if a giant monkey. That roar manifested itself into a great ape, the Ozaru which Master Yoda had warned him of long ago. Goku had no way to attack. He simply focused the Force, meditated, creating something akin to a shield around him. The dark side could not penetrate it. He promised himself to not give in. The temptation of that power was strong, but not as strong as his love for battle, his love of learning about the Force. He was at peace. He had serenity. Goku exited the cave, and Yoda smiled at him, revealing his Saiyan pod. Yoda explained that he had arrived in that pod when he first found him, and that though it was a little damaged, it would be able to take him anywhere in the galaxy. However, his mission now was to go to Ilum and create his very own lightsaber. This is what Goku had been looking forward to, but Yoda warned him, going out into the galaxy would be dangerous. Though it was something Goku had wanted all of his life, the dark side was around every corner. Yoda continued to explain that the Empire would be in Ilum. He was sure of it, but that everything he had learned up to that point would serve him well. With that, Goku stepped in the pod and blasted off. He wasn't sure where he was going, but that was part of the adventure, wasn't it? And so, the day Goku turned 13, he set off into the galaxy. Yoda was right about the pod being damaged, because it quickly ended up malfunctioning, and Goku was forced to land it on a planet full of forest. The crash alerted a lot of people, and once he exited the pod, he was surrounded by soldiers in white. They were marching furry creatures around. He didn't trust them at first, but he realized that it was the soldiers who were treating them badly. Goku asked what the deal was, why was he surrounded, and why were they electrocuting those monkeys. The Wookiees took offense to that, but the troopers simply told him to identify himself. Goku said, "Me? Well, I'm just Goku. I'm a Saiyan." The stormtroopers tilted their head. Saiyan? That couldn't be right. Not only did he not have a tail, but Saiyans had been eliminated for years now. Goku didn't have time for this, and made what may be his first mistake here, utilizing the Force to disarm all of the stormtroopers, throwing their weapons to the side. They were terrified. Nobody had really seen the Force in a long time. The stormtroopers still thought they could take him on, and rushed at him to melee him into submission. But Goku really was a Saiyan, and he was incredibly strong. He used every move he had, which wasn't very much. Yoda was agile, but he wasn't really one for CQC. Goku finished off the altercation by using Force Push and throwing all the stormtroopers to the side, knocking them out. He then slowly approached the Wookiees, a little terrified. They roared and groaned, and though Goku understood from their motions that they wanted to be free, he still had a lot to learn. He tried talking to every single one of them, until he finally reached the end, where a female Wookiee actually spoke basic.
"We are trying to tell you to free us."
Goku tilted his head, confused. "Okay, sure, I can see that you guys are in trouble. Does that mean all the other Wookiees had a speech impediment? Why didn't they just tell me that?"
"Actually, I'm the one with the speech impediment."
Goku didn't know what to say with that, but he freed them all. They tried to stick around, with her explaining something about a life debt, but Goku had no time for that. He explained that he simply needed to get to Ilum. He needed a better ship than that hunk of junk. The female Wookiee told everybody else to try and do what they can to hide or free the others. She would take care of their savior. The Wookiee's name was Logara, and she had just recently been captured. She was the captain of a cargo transport named Mighty Oak Apocalypse. She got on the wrong side of the Empire when she tried to visit Kashyyyk, but her ship wasn't far away, and she would need a new crew. Goku and her snuck through, until finally finding her ship, known as the Moa for short. It was a YT-2400 freighter, and Goku already loved the ship. It was so much better than the one he had. They quickly took off. Ilum is controlled largely by the Empire, so the YT-2400 lands far away from where stormtroopers could be. The crew promised to wait on Goku as long as they could, but it would be an arduous travel ahead. Goku was given some clothing for the adventure, where he headed north towards the strongest Force presence. There, he encountered multiple stormtroopers, using his martial arts techniques and strength to take them out as undetected as possible. the chambers were much more of a challenge, as there were puzzles in place as challenges in the olden days. He was never very good at mind games, so he resorted to using brute force. This caused an avalanche that kept him locked inside, but unfazed by this, the Saiyan continued towards the crystals. Once he finally reached the chamber, he felt the call of multiple crystals, but one in particular made him do a double take, a blue one. Using resources from the ship and those he took from Dagobah, Goku meditated in front of the crystal, slowly putting together his very own lightsaber. Now he just had to escape the planet. Stormtroopers had gathered outside, awaiting his escape. He felt it. Using all of his strength, he gathered the force and pushed back the snow-covered entrance, taking nearly all the stormtroopers with him. Those who survived shot at him, but Goku used his lightsaber to reflect every single blaster bolt until reaching the ship and blasting off into space. Over the next few weeks, Goku would continue to train with his lightsaber while on the ship, causing some damage. He was supposed to return to Yoda, but he wanted to see more of the galaxy. He would end up on many planets, with his favorite being Felucia. There, he befriended multiple Rancors, though the others didn't enjoy being around them. He also ended up on Coruscant, in the lower levels. The crew had some dealings to settle, and Goku got to explore the underground. Because he was raised around only one being, his manners weren't exactly the best, and they didn't sit well with someone from the Black Sun Syndicate, with nearly the whole bar raising their blasters at him. In response, he extended his lightsaber. He didn't want to hurt them. A cloaked figure noticed the lightsaber, with everyone else confused and even afraid. Was he a Jedi? The cloaked figure grabbed onto him harshly, and Goku was dragged out of the bar, with the figure telling everyone that he's going to take care of him. Everyone stayed quiet, whispering about how that guy was one of the fiercest bounty hunters in the galaxy. Once outside and secluded in an alley, the man yelled at Goku,
"What are you waving that thing around for like an idiot?"
Goku wasn't one to back down from a fight, and he began to battle against the man, though the man realized that he was still unrefined when it came to lightsaber combat. He could easily dodge and weave out of the way. Goku had a fiery attitude, telling him that if it's a fight he wants, it's a fight he'll get, tilting his head up to look at the man directly in the eyes. But the man was in shock. He took off his hood to reveal long, flowing hair.
"Kakarot, brother?"
Goku was confused, and he took a step back, but Raditz began to explain. There was no mistaking it. This kid was his younger brother. He thought that he was dead all along. Raditz realized that Goku didn't have a tail, revealing his own. Goku was surprised. Yoda told him that it was likely that he was the only Saiyan left. Raditz shook his head. Only a few of them remained. He was his brother, and the two of them were the sons of Bardock and Gine. Their planet, Vegeta, was destroyed long ago. Goku looked at his hands, and Raditz continued.
"I only managed to survive because Darth Vader, the Emperor's fiercest man, captured me. His plan was to use me as one of the Emperor's Inquisitors, but according to him, I wasn't up to par in comparison to his newly acquired disciple. In order to gain access to the Outer Rim territories, Vader made a deal with Jabba. He gave me to him. Saiyans are so rare and worth a lot of money. I am one of his trophies. But besides that, he also gave him something else."
What else could he want? He owns you.
"Our mother's lightsaber. I had used that a couple of times during my training, turning it red from my use of the dark side, but I'm not one to stand up against them. I remember our mother well, and that's why I stopped you from getting yourself killed. Not because I knew you were my brother, I didn't, but rather because I don't believe the Jedi were the monsters that the Empire made them out to be."
So, let's go get it. Raditz was confused. Goku wanted to get their mother's lightsaber? Raditz had all but cut himself away from the Force, but it was clear by Kakarot's eyes that he wanted this, to have a connection to his past. Raditz refused at first, but remained with Kakarot during his stay on Coruscant, telling him about his mother and father. When they said goodbye, Kakarot turned to Raditz. "I'm going to Tatooine, alone if I have to."
"Then that rock will be your resting place. Take care, brother."
It was a sad goodbye, as the YT-2400 once again blasted off into space, and eventually landing on Tatooine. Goku said goodbye to his new friends, and embarked on a new adventure. However, Goku was not discreet enough at the bar. A single stormtrooper watched the altercation, and informed Command, who then informed Darth Vader.
A Saiyan with a lightsaber. Interesting.
"Please, Master, allow me."
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're far too prideful and still underestimate your enemies often.
He's just low-class scum from the sounds of it. It would be my honor. I can take him on.
You have a lot to learn, but I have no love for that sand planet. Very well, your mission is to hunt down this Saiyan Jedi and bring me back his lightsaber as proof. Prince Vegeta.
As you wish, my master.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, it's been a ton of fun to make, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. Your constant support for the channel means the absolute world to me, and I encourage you to share these videos with Dragon Ball fans and anime fans in general, so we can continue to grow as a community. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SmugstickDB, and on TikTok at Smugstick. I also have a Discord which you can join by clicking the link down in the description. Shout out to the Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan God, and Ultra Instinct members of the channel. Enterprise System, Sonic is the best. Eric Dragon, Nuka Draco, The Baked Potato, All Might, Midnight Combatant, Sacred Saiyan, Theo J. Akir, Pizza Hut Kitman, Orlando Castellano, Hannah Rowan, Sir Justice, and the real Samuel Randall. You guys really are the stars of the show here, and keep the channel afloat. Thank you as always. Remember, the like goal for this video is 3,000 likes, and I'm sure we can get there. Anyways, until we meet again. See ya!